So, who do you want me to kill?
Simon stood there with a face of fear at first, which then turned to apprehension. But after no sudden movements were made, the final look to cross his face was confusion. A man stood in the corner of the room, wearing a fine suit colored in the darkest of blacks. The blood-red color of his tie burst from the charcoal shirt underneath.
"Who are you?"
Simon said, trying to sound authoritative.
Me? Well, many names have been associated with me. The Greeks called me Hades, but Disney kind of ruined that image for me. The Romans labeled me as Pluto. The Egyptians were interesting. To them, I was Osiris, and they worshipped me, welcoming me instead of fearing me. They were smart ones. Satan, Beelzebub, the devil. There are many names, but you can call me by a more casual name, Lucifer.
Satan? The devil? Lucifer? But you don't have pointy horns or red skin. You look normal.
It was very transparent that Simon was being cocky out of fear. A reply came back so quick, you could assume Lucifer got asked this a lot.
Would you rather I not?
Simon shot a look of touche before he pondered for a while, mulling over the influx of information going through his head. So many questions, so many whys, so many hows. After deliberating, one question above all had priority.
What do you want from me?
Lucifer's face lit up when he heard this. He readjusted his posture, took a step forward, and said,
Simon, I've been watching you for a while now, and you hold darkness in your heart, as if a lot of people have wronged you. And I'm here to change that.
A smirk made its way across Lucifer's face. At this point, Simon was no longer scared, but infatuated. The stranger's pitch had caught Simon's attention, and he silently gestured for the demon in human form to continue. Taking the hint, Lucifer slowly walked forward and carried on.
Now, I want you to look into the darkness in your heart. See the faces of all who have made your life worse. And tell me, who do you want me to kill?
As these words left his mouth, an icy chill followed. No heat radiated from his face, or any part of his body for that matter. Like a condition to a sales offer, Lucifer added,
Remember, you can only choose one.
Simon sat there for a few moments, then shifted in his chair to a more comfortable position, thinking some more. All the while, Lucifer backed off and leaned back on Simon's computer desk. After a while of silence and eye contact, tension started to form in the air. Breaking the silence, Lucifer asked,
Simon, tell me, what are you thinking?
Simon sighed.
Oh, well, there's so many to choose from. Too many to just choose one. One of my earliest memories is in kindergarten. I had a teacher, Mrs. Watkins. That's it. I had a toy, the Red Power Ranger, my favorite Power Ranger when I was a kid. And one day I decided to bring it to school and played with it in class. I mean, why wouldn't I? I was a kid when Mrs. Watkins saw it, and she flipped out at me for not paying attention and told my mom, who in turn punished me. And it sucks because she didn't have to tell. It was her fault.
Simon started to flare a shade of red as he was forced to relive that event in his head.
So, Mrs. Watkins, is that who you choose?
Lucifer said as he began to stand up, ready to perform his deed. Simon didn't respond for a moment, before bursting out with,
Whoa, wait, no. Let me think. That reminds me of an incident I had with my mom. She wasn't good to me either. When I was young, pretty much every Christmas, she would buy me whatever I asked for. I wanted a PlayStation 1 when it first came out, which I never got. The next year I wanted a Nintendo 64 and I never got that either. I ended up saving up my lunch money for months, but I finally had enough to get it. I brought it home at the happiest child in the world, only to come to my mom shouting at me about how I could have used the money for something more practical. I mean, we were quite poor back then, her being a single parent bringing me up alone, but she would not let me be happy.
Simon didn't realize he was getting so flustered during the story that he started to tense up. After he finished, his body relaxed, and he slumped back down into his chair.
So, your mother?
Lucifer said, again getting ready, and once again interrupted by an outburst from Simon.
Hang on.
A pause followed as Simon looked down, then up while contemplating.
Sorry, but now that I'm thinking back, I remember another person.
Lucifer pursed his lips with patience as he took his comfortable position on the desk.
In middle school, I started dating a girl, Danielle. She was one of the hottest girls in our year, so I was ecstatic when she said yes. When we went out on our first date, we were young and I fancied my chances. It was on everyone's mind at that age, so I was surprised that she didn't follow suit. Not only did she freak out, but she ran and told everyone at school the day after. I mean, to be fair, I was being quite forceful. But she did end up making the rest of the school's life very hard. A lot of people hate me. I lost a lot of friends. If she died, she would get what she deserves.
This time, Lucifer waited, as he now knew Simon's mind was not easily made up.
So, Danielle, is that your final choice?
Simon's brow furrowed, as he now had another thought.
Well, if I choose Danielle, the others live. Same if I choose anyone else. There's so many more.
Well, you have to pick one,
Lucifer said, in the same calm tone he held the entire evening. Simon's face continued to have a tense, concentrated look until he had an idea. As soon as it entered his head, his face lit up with excitement.
Lucifer, I can't decide. Okay, here's my request. I choose for you to kill the person who has hurt me the most.
Lucifer, now satisfied that he could get up and perform his rites, said,
That is an interesting idea.
Lucifer's face twinged at the sight as he tried to hold back his smile. Not being able to hold it in, he smirked as he recited,
The contract is binding. May the deed be done.
He raised his hand and snapped his fingers with a loud. At that instant, Simon dropped dead.